We got Dr. Kersey a little bit of sweets, so I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Kurzer for her comments, and then we are going to go over to Tiare. And so we're getting close to the end, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for those of you who've stayed this whole time. It's just great. I just wanted to make a couple of announcements. First of all, we took videos of all the talks, and we're going to be posting them on our website, and they'll be on YouTube, and we will email everybody when they're ready. It'll take maybe 6 weeks or so before we actually get them edited and everything. But we'll have all those videos out there, and we really would like you to use them in any way that you can, in any kind of classes you teach or friends or whatever. Get the word around about those. We are going to also send you an evaluation survey via email next week. Please fill it out. We really read every comment, and we're going to have drawings for great prizes if you fill out that evaluation. And then the last thing I wanted to just ask you all to think about is we have this beautiful piece of art that was created during the conference, and I don't want to put it in the basement of the Department of Food Science and Nutrition at the University of Minnesota and to just sit there. So we want to display it. And we can find some places locally to display it, but we're also willing to consider, sending it out for like a lending thing to those of you who have any kind of organizations or spaces or galleries that could display it for some period of time. So keep that in mind. It's a big piece. It's 3.5 by about maybe 11 feet wide. And so think about it and just send me an email if you have any ideas. And now I think we're going to turn it over to Tiare.
Oh, I'll be down there. Oh, okay. Never mind. I guess that's the point of the portable mic, is I can be over here. Yeah, so aloha. It's so good to have you all here. Thanks for sticking around and sticking it out. It's been so wonderful to be here. I feel like y'all have made me feel really welcome. Food is such a connective experience. Definitely the first day at lunch, I'm like, who am I gonna sit beside? And so I appreciate you all practicing these wonderful ways of being by just being so welcoming. I had some Two-Spirit and Digiqueer kin come out of the woodworks and be like, oh, hey, I see you, which I love. Oh, you want me to stand over here? Got it. Yeah. And that, yeah, so thank you. It was funny because I was like, when I introduced myself, did I be like, oh, hey, I'm Tiare Lani, my pronouns are they, them. I'm a proud Two-Spirit and Digiqueer person. I don't think I even said that, but I love that people just intuited that connection. And I want to draw a connection there in this mural making process, which I feel is something that's being nurtured in this space, and that we can continue to do, which that biodiversity, cultural diversity, it connects also to our fullest expressions of our authentic selves. And so when the colonizers came and were afraid of gender diversity and of the myriad experiences of our expression, it's that fear of freedom. And so really just celebrating people finding that seed of truth in yourself and expressing that. And I think that, yeah, I'm so inspired to have been witnessing and drawing for all of you today. I really felt that fire and that spark of aliveness in so many of our speakers, and people who have come up and said hi to me. I want to honor my mom, Nani Bell Brown, who is my Klei'li Hawaiian and also Irish matriarch, and she raised my siblings and I on welfare, but she was very like resourceful and creative in making connections, and like she would feed us like ground beef and green vegetables whenever she could, and even just talking to us about the food that we ate. And so I like need to lift up my mother for really nourishing that, and also telling us, being raised in a community that was you know, there was a lot of stigma in that community, and she always told us to be proud of who we are growing up. And so while I might not have had all of the touch points of like practicing in community then, she would tell me things like, your grandmother is your great Granny Seymour, and she was a medicine woman. And those were seeds planted in me that helped me really resonate with like, and be proud of being here with all of you today, and like feel the harmonies in like my ancestral intuition with like the gifts and the like beautiful food and diversity that each of you are bringing to share in this gathering space. And I just want to take a deep breath, and I want to invite all of you to just notice your breath with me. I know we've been sitting for a long time and welcoming our body's wisdom, seeing if there's anything that you're like holding that's tight that could be like 10% more comfortable. Noticing the chair that's holding you and the gravity. That reminder of, I heard a teaching of that gravity is Mother Earth's reminder that we all belong here. And I take those moments of pause because I have to remind myself, even when I'm doing this, especially when I'm doing this work, that when like my mind is like trying to keep up with all of the incredible, brilliant words that have been spoken, to take a pause and connect to what feels good, and let the images and let the story, let it emerge and let it flow. And I think that there was something here said, like one of the speakers spoke to spiritual intuition, and that can come when we find ourselves grounding on the land, interacting with the food and the soil. And I know we have a lot of diasporic kin and urban indigenous kin and folks with different levels of access to that. And so what practices do we have in our everyday lives that reconnect us back to that feeling of like breath and spaciousness? And how can we notice more, weave more ways of noticing that in our everyday lives, like noticing the food that we eat and noticing it with a non-judgmental compassion. And I love that the speakers here today like spoke about all of this, and I can tell you a little bit about, I feel like this is a very nonlinear journey, so I'm not going to speak to all of the images in here. But as I'm like weaving connections into my life, I invite you to engage with the image afterwards and tell stories that feel alive for you and that connect you to other people's stories. Like the kalo, this is one of my ancestral plants. I didn't know about the kalo growing up. It was something that I felt definitely grief and like things that I couldn't even name that I was missing. And it has been incredible, like my older sibling, like I couldn't afford to go to Hawaii when I was growing up. And my older sibling now, she is on her journey, and she has just moved back to Kona, Hawaii. And also Hope, our incredible elder here, I had an opportunity a few years ago to be in Hawaii with Hope and other indigenous leaders learning about these ancestral plants. And so I just feel like it's so, these images are opportunities to lift up and celebrate the ways that like we are already doing it and the medicine is already here among us, and to lean into that because trauma has this way of making us want to hyper-focus on the things that are dangers and the things that are threats. And those things can be real, and our resources are still real, and our allies are real, and our kinships are real. And I heard some incredible themes here today, like people talking about the wolf pack and like needing to find creative ways to connect with each other. And there were so many different languages to get together and do that. And as we like to say, let's go then, let's grow up, and let's do this. So I'm just going to invite you to take a moment to look at this image and think of something in your life that you didn't think was possible that is true now. And I want to invite you to hold whatever that is that you didn't think was possible, but that's true now in your heart. And see if you can imagine or locate where that might be in your body, or if it's a sensation, like a color, or just like a texture, or whatever that feeling may be in your whole self, and just to be with that. And I'm going to do something a little bit unconventional as my last words to you, because I was so moved by all of the Kanakas singing our ancestral songs. And oh, okay, before I do that, I thought of one other little Molelo story to tell you, which is I love the stories that people shared about the fullness of their experience and their grief and their heartbreak and their joy. And I really believe in everyday ceremony. I'm a person who sings to my food every day. That's like, or whenever I cook a really important meal. And I was like grieving some things one time, and I put my Celine Dion full blast, put my Whitney Houston on, put my power ballads on, and I saw that my roommate had walked to their car, and I was just singing to that food. And I realized they were probably home because their car was still there after, and I texted them, and I was like, sorry about that. And they said that they had texted my other roommates and said, yeah, Tiare's gifting me a free concert tonight. So, all of these practices are ways that we connect to our food, to our aina, and I loved being told about the mele komo, which there are many different mele komos, and in Hawaiian culture, a mele komo is it's like a greeting. And so when I arrived here, I sang this mele komo to the spirits of this land and to the foods I'm eating as a way of saying, hi, I'm Tiare. Good to meet you. May we be kin, may we connect, and may we, may I be guided in a good way. And so I'll sing that now for you in closing, which is a little unconventional because it's usually a greeting. But also aloha means many things, and an ending is also a beginning. So that will be my parting offering to you. And this means I offer you this voice, this humble gift of a voice, so that we may come to know each other and work well with one another to take care of the land. E leo aloha ke ia. Ia oi I ka aina o Shakopee. Someone help me. Shakopee. I got really nervous, so I'm needing some support with the shout out the territory that we're on, please. Metawakaton Sioux. Shakopi Medawakatansu. E ai mai ke komo. I helea kama aina kaua e. Shakopi Medawakatansu. Ahe leo. Ahe leo. Ahe leo vale noe. And my kumu says, that's the hello chant, and also it's good to say goodbye. So on your way out, I don't know that chant yet. One piece at a time, you know, you can say, goodbye, I'm leaving, you spirits of this land, stay here, and glad to have been here with you. Unless, of course, you live here, in which case, that's different. All right. Feel free to, we're going to bring these panels outside briefly to take photos in the better light. We will send the images out to you, and if you want to come see us out there and try and take some photos, I would love to chat with you, and I might need to be getting ready for my flight soon, so I apologize if I'm brief, but you're still welcome to come say hi, and aloha. Thank you for having me.
So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. They did a great job. Wonderful. We are down to our last moments here before the honor guard and the drummers and Auntie Ilima come up with the youth. I just have my last words for you guys. Let's continue to live a long life. Let's make that a goal, because in Dinebazad we say, Shana dani glingo as afnel deto. And to say let's live a long life in Dinebazad is very difficult to say, because it's very difficult to do. And that's the realities for our communities. Remember that we are the heartbeats of our families and our communities. So keep loving your heart, whatever heart means to you. And let's define that maybe the next conference. And I also just want to say that more recently, last month, I had an AI take notes. Some of you let AI take notes. Okay, I had AI take notes for me because I was just like, could not get on the computer, like just type what I'm saying. And so we are having our team meeting. I said, can you ask the question, what does resilient mean to you? And I said, not resilient with RES, but resilience. Like, what does resilient mean? And the AI put, when I went back to the team meeting and I was looking at the notes, and I said, oh, the AI wrote, what does resilience mean to you? And I'm like, resilience? I didn't say resilience. And my true AI, he wrote resilience. And I said, oh my gosh. I was like, I said resilience. Resilient, what does resilient mean to you? And so now we have this joke like, you are worth resilience. Like, you are worth more than we can even imagine. Like, and we said, oh man, that's so resilience. Like, that's so worth resilience. So get that in your heart. Like, if you can't explain the amount of gratitude or anything, if you can't quantify, what that is, my true AI, he wrote resilience, because the other AI wouldn't write resilience. So anyway, with Chef Mackie, I was like, you're so funny. I was like, Mackie. But true story, the past couple of months, I've been really dealing with some health issues that are undiagnosed, and some of you know my story. And I thank you for your support, my colleagues. You've been there for me, and Dr. Kurzer, Chef Mackie, Della, Anna, Moon, and on the planning committee. But through all this pain that I've been experiencing, I really want to be diagnosed with chronic resilience. And I laugh about that because Things try to bring us down. Things are trying to colonize our bodies from the inside out. And I keep telling Dr. Kurz every week when she's checking on me, or some of you that text me, and I'm like, chronic resilience. Like, that's what we need to be diagnosed with. We're trying to be torn down. We're trying to be brought down. Chronic resilience is a real thing. So I just want to recognize that. Remember that our collective work matters, okay? Collective healing is so critical right now. Our work matters to continue to uplift our epistemologies, the origin and nature of human knowledge that our grandparents and our mothers and our fathers and our aunties, uncles are sharing with us. The ontologies, our nature of being. Support the work and bring that forward. Recognize the etymologies, the linguistic change that's happening. Because with my work, we never had the words for junk food in Denebizad because it never existed. And I say quote unquote junk food because I've always been told there's junk and there's food. There's no such thing as junk food. And we had to create that word, Ch'iyan Bajol. Ch'iyan means food and Bajol means the scraps, the crap, the unhealthy food, the prison food, the food that doesn't belong in our body, the food that is poisoning our body. It means that. What are those words of unhealthy food in your language? And what does that mean? And how can it unfold to support the work that we're doing? We need the support of our indigenous languages, because our tongues need to be liberated. Our tongues need to be liberated from this colonized food. We need to cut the crap. I'll give you a prize if you say what CRAP is. And the joy and justice work, because that's our theme, right? Joy and justice, it's hard work. It is hard work. Please continue. Our work is very transformative. And remember that you have the permission to tell the truth. So from my heart to yours, remember that you are loved. Remember that you are loved. Tell your neighbor you are loved. The other neighbor, you are loved. And don't be shy about that. Yeah, you are loved. And so after the honor guard, the drummers, and Alima, you bring your youth, we'll dismiss ourselves until we see again, one another again. Thank you so much. Ayaha.